My dear students, a continuation of the bearings chapter. So I'll start. Previously, I explained about lubrication types of bearings. So now we'll go to the important bearing parameters. So first one, bearing characteristic number and bearing modulus for journal bearing. For journal bearing, the coefficient of friction in design of bearings is a great importance. Is great importance. Various investigators have shown that in general journal coefficient of friction is a function of at least three dimensions dimension parameter, that is here mu eta n dash by p, d by c, and l by d ratio. These are the three ratios very important to decide the coefficient of friction. Now here, where eta is the absolute viscosity in okay, pascals, n dash is the speed in rpm, okay, and p is sorry, P is the bearing pressure on the projected area, which is given by W divided by L by L into D, Newton per meter square. D is the diameter of the journal meters. C is the diameter clearance. C is the diameter clearance. L is the length of the bearing. Okay. Next, the parameter here, eta n dash by P is called as a bearing characteristic number and is dimensionless number. The variation of coefficient of friction with the operating values of bearing characteristics number is shown in the figure below. So if you observe this diagram here, so diagram is, I'll show this diagram. You can see here the mu is a coefficient of friction, and this dimension bearing characteristic number eta n dash by p. Against that, if I draw the graph, so you can observe here the part of the curve PQ, you can see here PQ here, Q represents the thick film lubrication. This is thick film lubrication, and this portion is a transition of semi-fluid lubrication. Transitions or semi-fluid lubrication. This is a thin film or boundary lubrication. That means initially the coefficient of friction is very high. As a speed increases, okay. So what happens here? This curve drops down to some to value, and transition period starts from R to Q. So here you can see a transition semi-fluid lubrication it is. So, okay, and then it is again when you as this number increases, this again the curve goes up. It is between P from Q to P. The part of the curve PQ represent thick film lubrication. Between Q and R, whatever is the Q and R, you can see in the diagram there. Between Q and R, the viscosity eta and speed n dash are low, or pressure P is high. Pressure is high, the velocity is low. Viscosity is speed are low and pressure is high. Sorry. Okay. Now here, this is the part of the curve PQ. There's some problem. Part of the curve PQ represents the thick film lubrication. Between Q and R, this you can see Q and R. What happens? The viscosity or speed are low. Here, or pressure is high, and pressure is high. That therefore the combination of that, see here. So eta n dash by P will reduce the film thickness. So the partial metal to metal contact will takes place in this zone. Okay, in this zone, partial metal to metal contact takes place in the transition zone. Therefore, thin film and boundary or imperfect lubrication exists between R and S. This is the R and S here. This is the exists here. So on the curve, for any bearing, there is a combination of eta n dash and P that results a minimum friction indicated by K. This K, what you see here, this K you can see here, this is the minimum friction indicated by K on the curve. The values of eta n dash by P greater than K indicates that bearing may be operate at complete lubrication. If the value is below the less than K, then there is no complete film lubrication. Okay, this is the basic you have to understand here. Okay. So now if you here the same diagram is here. At values of K, the oil film K here, oil film shall break down. Now see, if you see that this portion here, this height, the value of K, at the value of less than K here, this is the value of less than K. If it is there, the oil film breaks down. This portion, oil film breaks down, resulting metal to metal contact and consequent higher friction and wear. The value of eta n dash and P, where the oil film ruptures or breaks down. Okay, all film ruptures or breakdown is called as a bearing modulus. This is important. It's called as a bearing modulus. This you have to understand from this graph. Okay, so next, now Summerfield number. Summerfield number, yes, is another dimensionless parameter used extensively in lubrication analysis. Based on the hydrodynamic theory, it can be shown that Summerfield number is a function of attitude. It may be plotted against the quantity mu into d by c, which is also function of attitude only. The coefficient of general friction can be obtained. The Summerfield number is a dimension number, can be given by this expression: S equal to eta n dash by p d by c whole square equal to eta n dash by p 1 by psi square. Okay, bracket complete, where psi is the c by d. One of the main factors of Petrov equation, we'll see later on Petrov equation what is that, fails to take into account is eccentricity of the bearing under the load. Okay, eccentricity means what here? It is a center of the journal and center of the bearing housing. So Summerfield number, when plotted against what here, mu into d by c. Okay, mu into d by c, this quantity in association with the hydrodynamic theory concept, takes this eccentricity into account. Okay, right? The center of the journal, when under load, center of journal means it is shaft portion, so under load is not concentric with the bearing, just now I explained, with the bearing, but moves approximately along the semicircular arc of diameter c by 2. This results in the establishment of minimum film thickness. It is h naught, or you can say h min, as shown in the figure below. I'll show the figure now. The distance between the bearing center and the shaft center is called eccentricity and denoted by E. Now you can see the diagram here. I'll just zoom the diagram. Okay, now you can observe here. So it is a oil in, this portion you can see, left side portion, oil in. So, and this is the c by 2, you can see here, this center. Okay, once this center is a bearing center, this is a shaft center somewhere here, this is shaft center. Okay, this distance is c by 2, and this is the minimum film thickness which is maintained here, h min. It is a h min, and rotation of this journal is anti-clockwise, and this is a E, eccentricity ratio. Eccentricity is center of the bearing to center of the shaft. Now the ratio of this eccentricity to the radial clearance is called as attitude. Okay, is called as a attitude. The ratio of the eccentricity to the radial clearance. Radial clearance means this the clearance, it is c by 2. It's called radial clearance. C by 2 is what here? Radial clearance. Clearance is called attitude or eccentricity ratio. So attitude, okay, epsilon equal to okay, is what here? 2e by c. 2e by c. I can write in this way: 1 minus 2h min by c. Okay. Now the coefficient of friction may be determined from the figure 7.8. This 7.8 means this figure is from book, it is. Okay, where coefficient of friction available is plotted against the Summerfield. Now you can see here Summerfield number, it is against coefficient of friction variable, it is mu into d by c, based on L by D ratio equal to 1, full journal, ambient temperature, ambient pressure is 0. So this is the nature of the distribution of the coefficient of friction variable. Okay, so that you can understand these things when you solve the problems. Okay, next here, the minimum thin thickness variable may be determined. Another graph here, this graph is there. This is again, it is drawn against the Summerfield number. The minimum thin thickness is the y-axis, summer field is x-axis. So this is again based on L by D equal to 1, full journal, ambient pressure is 0. So here where minimum field thickness variable 2h0 by C, 2h0 by C is plotted against the summer field number. This minimum film thickness variable is what? H2 H min, H min by H0 or H min, both are same. H min by 2H min by C. Okay. Next. Now this is the oil flow through the bearing due to the pumping action of the shaft may be determined. Oil flow through the bearing, oil flow through the bearing to pumping action, okay, action of the shaft may be determined from the this below figure. So here flow variable is a y-axis and summer field number is a x-axis. So the nature of the oil flow variable you can see here is nature of, as summer field number increase, this is the graph, okay, drop down, okay, in a curve form it is, you can see here. Okay, so the it is a our benchmark is 1 here, it is a below 0.11. You can see the in the data book will understand better when you solve the problem. Now I'll come back to the next part here, the important terms used in the hydrodynamic journal bearing. So in the next video, so I'll stop here.